Hola from the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Thursday. Hey, Darren. Hey, 1SP. Welcome to the chat. We almost to the end of the week, y'all. We almost to the end of the week. And you know what I got to do? I got to start packing up my house. This is going to be hopefully a smooth move, but we shall see. Hey, Aaron. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. So there's been, a lot going on in these United States this week in regards to, I don't know. I don't know if he's calling the National Guard or he's calling in that. I think it is the National Guard. Like Portland, Atlanta. He's trying to take them to Chicago. But the mayor of Chicago, she gangster. She ain't having it. But he's not even asking. And I'm referring to 45. Hey, Matt. And I told you guys, was it last week? I told you that they're up in Portland, like losing it. And as you can see, the mayor of Portland, along with a crowd, got tear gassed last night in a peaceful protest. And people are wondering if it was targeted. I don't know if they targeted him or not. I mean, Portland is not the blackest city, but they definitely have a black population, and it appeared to be a mixed population in the crowd with him. But the majority of the mess that's going on up in Portland is not being done by anyone who is protesting police brutality or associated with the quote-unquote Black Lives Matter movement, which, for those of you who don't know, actually started in LA. But I digress. So this is going on, and meanwhile, our country is under a apparent epidemic with COVID-19. But are we really? Are we really? Is are all of these people who are being said to have died from COVID-19, or did they really die from COVID-19? Because I have a sneaky suspicion that not all of the deaths that have been attributed to the coronavirus were actually coronavirus. Hey, Angel. Happy Thursday. I just don't think that that's true. And then I also want to know, how is it that they're saying that blacks are accounting for a higher percentage. If we are only quote unquote 13% of the population in these entire United States, but we don't know if that's true, because how we don't like to fill out that daggone census and get counted. So There's probably more of us, but that's based on people actually filling out the census. FY, please do the census, y'all. Just so that they know, you're here. The census is not even attributed, really it's attributed to where you live on a certain date in this year. Do it every 10 years, you know. Anyway, back to what I was speaking about. So we're looking at all of this, and I I know that this coronavirus can be bad. And I do believe that there are a lot of people that may have it, but I don't trust I don't trust that the numbers are accurate. I believe that they are spiking them up to make it higher, to cause people to be in fear. And then if we start operating in fear, y'all, then we will willingly give up certain rights. Think about 9/11. Think about after 9/11, and think about the rights that we freely gave up with the Patriot Act. Okay? That's what I'm saying, Aaron. Hey, Kizzies. That's exactly what I'm saying. Hey, Petty. Hey, Petty Murphy. Yeah. Because look, I'm not disputing that there may be a slightly higher amount of Blacks and Latinos that may be contracting this because, A, it's our people who are the essential workers. The majority of the people that are in those essential working jobs, including the medical jobs, you know, like nurses, they're not white. Okay? So we already know that there's been issues about them having PPE. And so I can I will assert that maybe we have higher numbers. I just don't believe that it's as high as what they are saying. And although I am an advocate for wearing the mask when you are out in situations where you can't social distance, the best way to not catch this is to social distance and not be in crowds. Period. Don't be someplace where there's a whole bunch of people. And I'm gonna tell y'all something I saw today on Facebook that just kind of blew my mind. So y'all, my people, because this was black and brown people doing this. Okay, so y'all know I do karaoke, or I did karaoke pre COVID-19, and now that they have closed down everything, I am seeing a certain KJ that I know, which stands for karaoke, DJ, out there having karaoke night at some club in Los Angeles 5 days a week. I don't see no mask. I see a big crowd of people. I see people singing on these microphones. I don't see nobody wiping nothing down. I think I saw maybe two people. And it's all black and brown folk. Why are we doing this? Because we don't believe, because many of us don't believe that it's real. you know. But I'm not going to put myself in harm's way, even if I think they are spiking the numbers. I'm not going to be stupid. I don't even want to get the flu. Okay? Hey, Maria. So these folks are out there and then they're posting this on Facebook. So you breaking the law, because y'all know all of that's closed and it pretty much shut down almost all over California, unless it's outside. And trust me, they weren't outside. And yet and still, these people boldly put this out on Facebook. Everybody's walking around. And a couple of weeks ago, a dear friend of mine in the karaoke community, who is a KJ, died right after they originally opened up everything and people were out in Orange County. And somebody got around her and she's no longer here. I saw her on Facebook one day, the next day she's not here. So I know that it's real. I know that people are really getting it. Do I think that our country has done a good job of trying to keep this under control? Hell no. Hell no. And and at the same time that we're dealing with this, we're also dealing with, people wanting to reform law enforcement. And we're having protests all over the country. We got all of this going on at the same time. And now 45 wants to advocate for wearing masks while he's at the same time sending military out where he wants to shut down peaceful protests. Like, what? Now, don't get me wrong. If there's people out there acting a fool, like, the young people who are just having these large house parties in Chi-Town, what is that about? Um, you know, getting inebriated and pretty much acting a fool. You know, I understand about that part. But that's not what's going on every place that you are going. People are being terrorized. People are being killed because you're pushing people around the federal troops around the country. Well, Sweden never ever closed down all the way. I use them as the example. They were the country. They were the only country in the entire world that did not shut down. All they did was recommend that their older population stay quarantined. They recommended that people social distance and that people wear masks, but they didn't shut down. They never shut down. And I guess the person who's in charge of the doctor who's in charge over the health department said that their rationale is that if they shut down, how were they going to be able to know if they would be able to handle the cases? And it didn't do any difference for them. They didn't get any huge spikes. Their hospitals weren't overflowing with people at any time. So, part of what's going on here is that, I hate to say it, a lot of Americans just don't practice good health, hygiene with, washing hands and stuff on a regular basis. You know, people don't cover their mouths when they cough or cover their nose when they sneeze. We do a lot of that kind of nastiness. Because why are we the only country that this is happening in? It's a lot of stuff that people are doing, you know, putting themselves in situations and just spreading everything along and everything. And we have a mentality about us as Americans that you can't tell us what we can't do. That's how we are. If you say we can't do it, we're going to find a way to do it. This is why you have so many people that were just opting not to wear masks, even in states and cities where it's mandatory. Um, you know, all the protests when, like here in California, when we wouldn't open up the beaches. It's a sense of entitlement we have as Americans. But see, that's what they're playing on. That's exactly what they're playing on, y'all. Because if this continues in the way that it's going, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be operating in fear. Fear. And then they're going to be able to lull them into giving up rights that they should never give up. Because a lot of the things that we gave up as a country, and we didn't really willingly do it, with the Patriot Act, are rights we should have never, as a country, given up, regardless of what the situation was. But again, that was operating in fear. And here we are again. Here we are again. And that is what they're trying to push. That's the agenda. So we'll willingly, give up certain rights, like make certain things mandatory, they may be able to push in a mandatory getting, vaccinated for this thing. Good luck with that one. I mean, most people won't even get a flu shot. You think they're gonna get that shot? I'm just saying. You know, working towards this vaccine, that's great and everything. Okay, but really, what they should be doing is working on stopping it from spreading. And I don't think that they're going to be able to do a shutdown of the country, or any one state. They can't even close down. I don't even think they'd be able to close down a city. I think the only thing that they're going to be able to do at this particular point, as far as businesses, is delay certain businesses, from opening, and then, roll back where they can. But they're not going to be able to roll it back to complete closure, no matter how much they keep threatening of doing that. How are they going to be able to do that? That is just pure madness. Especially when, as you know, you've got all of these people who still have no jobs, and so you're going to close everything up, so now they can't get a job, so now they can't pay the rent, can't pay the mortgage. That is not going to help. It is going to cause chaos. It's going to cause chaos. My opinion. My opinion. I mean, because you see how people got. Oh yeah, I don't live in fear. I don't live in fear, but that is what they are trying to drive it towards. And many people will live in fear. I'm not one that's going to do it. I'm not living in fear now. I'm just being smart. And personally, I think it is a wonderful idea for all people, all of us. We should have, this is a time to evaluate who are the people you really want around you in your life. I mean, in real time, you know, because you can see during this time that there are many people who are doing a lot of foolish things. And I don't want to be around fools. I don't want to be around the fools. I'm going to let the fools do them, you know. I'm not itching to go out and hang out and everything. I mean, yeah, I like to go out every now and then before, but I'm okay with being at home. I like my family's, company. I don't have a problem with it. We're not in here tearing each other's heads off, and I know that may be situations for some people, but not my situation, and it's not the situation for many other people.
You talking about we fighting? As soon as we get off the damn, I'm tired. Come on, come on, let's go, let's go.
See y'all, he's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Over policing right now. I'll just say, right now, the police, they not really trying to come close to people unless they have to, because y'all know. Check it out. Check this out. They're getting sick too. Okay, they don't want to get near you because you might have it. So, for the most part, if you don't do nothing stupid, police are not even checking for you. You know, and that's the normal ones. Now you have the ones who have an agenda. You know, they're part of our brutality problem. But I'm talking about the ones who are just there to do their job. They're not trying to catch nothing either. But the protests are going to keep going on. Did I not tell y'all that they were going to keep going on? They're not going to stop. The only thing that they are doing is trying to keep it out of the media. But here's the crazy thing. There's social media. So people post what doesn't hit mainstream media is hitting social media. So we're still finding out about them. People are still focusing on it, especially as it continues to go on. People are dying every day still at the hands of police unjustly. It has not stopped. We just aren't hearing about every one that's happening. Because, now it's already bad with the protests, but more of them are coming to light. But they're doing some stuff, let me just tell y'all. And, although they're doing all this little, military into these big cities, if they're trying to control us, let me tell you how they're going to do it. They're going to start with the small towns, work their little kinks out, see if it works there. And then they're going to move up to the medium. They're just going to gradually move up. But they're on a mission. I mean, we've seen evidence of certain things that look, those like FEMA camp, concentration campish in certain parts of the country. Now, why is that? What's that there for? Why is that there? I'm just saying. People, but you know what, Aaron? Some people are they still so low. I don't understand how they not awake. They don't understand. During this time when all this stuff is going on, you should be doing things that are going to have you where you need to be. If you aren't there, right? If you weren't there before, no matter what your situation is, try to be digging in and strategizing. You know, exactly. But people are so. I don't know. I'm not saying that the government should necessarily just jump in and save us, because that's not my mentality. But there's so many that are of that mentality. Still, in the middle of all of this, like, do you know that that's not what's going to happen? Do you not know that that government was not built for us? The government was built for the pursuit of happiness of descendants of Europeans. You know, I'm just telling the truth. Those of us who are descendants of slaves are merely an amendment. We're merely an amendment. An amendment makes us citizens. I say it all the time. You know, but folk, let me see what Matt said. All the bums out of office. And see, but here's the thing. A lot of people sit around and complain, but they don't vote. They don't. I mean, I look. Politics is not my favorite thing, but here's the thing. I got to know what the heck's going on, and I have to at least put my opinions and my vote in there. Is my opinion. I mean, do y'all not realize that's what happened in 2016? A lot of people didn't vote. And and if you not heard 45, he keeps putting this out in the air. He's trying to illegitimize mail-in ballots. Now, granted, there have been some issues with them, I believe, during some of these elections, primaries now, because people don't mail them in on time. And as far as I know, the post offices were opened, at least to take mail. I've been able to go to the post office. Hey, Sunday. How are you? I can only imagine, Sunday. I can only imagine. I mean, anybody who thinks that this country is going to be what it was before uh, February of 2020 is sadly mistaken. I'm not saying it's not going to go back to that, but it will not be anytime soon. No time soon. Everything is going to be a new normal. It's going to be a new normal for quite some time. But people don't want. But people don't want to vote their opinion. They just want to. They just want to complain. They're not involved. you know. And I'm not saying get out there and be in every Black Lives Matter protest, dealing with the police brutality. I'm not even saying that, because you don't have to be at the protest to be doing something. You can be looking at who is on the city council, because the police department, at least in the cities that I have been in, whoever is the head of the police department, the city decides that, and then from that person, that determines what kind of department you have. No matter, no matter if that person went up the ranks in there or came from outside, they impress their, who they are, and it trickles down. So many times when I'm looking at things like the situation that happened in Minneapolis that just set this country on fire, you have to wonder about the person at the top of that department, where they were. But didn't they just defund the police department in Minneapolis? So that there answers your question. Clearly, there was a leadership issue. Because I don't believe that you're just going to have these cops down at the bottom that are causing all this havoc if it's not going all the way up the chain of command. I'm saying. You see what you're saying? I'm saying what Aaron said. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Aaron. And see, that's another point I wanted to make. A lot of people do not know who's pushing behind Black Lives Matter, and that there's another agenda that is not the same agenda as the people who are out there doing the protest. They have a whole nother agenda. And that's why you do have to be careful when you're dealing with stuff in regards to, Black Lives Matter. We mean it for one purpose, they got something else going on. See, that's the thing. That's what there's like there's the original movement of Black Lives Matter, and then there's what you have now. Okay? And the original vision is not necessarily what is being promoted in the background now. It's a whole nother agenda that is not necessarily for Black people. Purple lightning? Is it storming there? Or is it like off in the distance Sunday? That's weird. I've never seen purple lightning. I know, like right now, depending on what part of the country you're in, or where if you're in a city or in the out, like probably in a more rural area, they're saying that you can see there's this. I guess it's some type of shooting star, or asteroid, or whatever that you can see at night. So maybe that's what you're seeing. think. Let me think. Which way is it to? It's to like the. I think it's to the west, and it's like around Big Dipper. Oh, so you just so it's there's lightning. Yeah, because I know this thing is out there. It's like a shooting star, and they said it won't show again for 6,500 years. So none of us will be around the next time it comes around. Kind of like Haley's comet. You know, people saw the first time it came around. Then it came around again, I think last century, and it won't come around again until sometime a long time from now, like a couple 100 years. I forget how that one works. Oh, wow. That is weird, Sunday. Hope they ain't doing something funky over you guys. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, because people still question 9/11. Thank you, Angel. People still question 9/11. They still question whether those planes took down those buildings or whether there was some type of explosion that took those buildings down. I don't know. I mean, but we know like things like the Oklahoma bomber was definitely a homegrown terrorist. I mean, we all saw the planes crash into the building, so they can't, tell us we didn't see what we saw. But I don't know. Could a plane make a building come down? I don't know. Since I don't happen to be a structural engineer, but there's many structural engineers that theorize that those planes couldn't have made the buildings go down.
I just don't think you're a structural engineer.
Oh, okay.
Well, you should ask.
But seriously, I mean, there's so many hypotheses out there about what's making people sick, and some people are saying it's not, that it's something else that's making some people more immune to this virus. I mean, more not immune to it, but more prone to getting it. I mean, y'all heard the people talking about the 5G. I don't know, because where I am, I don't, I don't think we have 5G yet. They're still working on it, but you know, they supposedly 5G are supposed to do not be good for the human body, for our cellular cells. I guess the waves from it, and that's what people are saying, that in certain areas that is attributed to it too, and they're saying that was the situation in Wuhan. I don't know. All I know is that something is killing people. Call it what you want. Something is making people sick. And whatever it is, we don't seem to know how to stop it. our country, because everybody else seems to be getting it together. How can we be, quote unquote, you know, like the most, supposedly the richest country, the best country in the world and all that, yada, yada, yada. Everybody looks at us, as the leaders of the free world. And here we sit. Everybody else has started to move past the pandemic stage, and we are still pretty much there, even though things have opened. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does, in my opinion, is shine a bad light on the leadership of the country. And they want to peddle it off on other people, but nonetheless, you are the head man in charge. And you've done a terrible job of handling this pandemic, Mr. President. You have. And now, and now we are where we are. And him doing his now reinstating the daily briefings. Don't nobody have time for that now. You should have never stopped them. And you should have never had this confusion about what people should and shouldn't do. So I personally think that it comes from the head on down. Even though some governors in many states tried to do the right thing, they were pretty much, people were trying to get, saying, get them out of office and stuff because they were trying to keep their citizens in their states safe because, I don't know, we live in a crazy country where the leader doesn't seem to think it's his job. How does he not think that it is his job as president to do that? It is his job. And he's done a crappy job, period, in regards to this. He knows it. We all know it. And that is the reason why he is scrambling right now. He's scrambling right now because there hasn't really been any really active campaigning, so to speak. And yet he, as the incumbent, is behind his opponent because of his handling of what's going on right now. And his insistence on continuing to toy with China. Not making a lot of people happy right now, including his own constituents. They are acting brand new about this. People are just acting like we ain't got nothing to worry about. But here, think about this, Aaron. That's how the leader of this country was acting for months in regards to this. Like it was nothing. Oh, it's going to go away. It's going to be gone soon. Oh, it's going to be gone soon. Oh, it's going to be gone soon. For months, he was like that. So, is it not a surprise that so many Americans are like that, unfortunately, about this? Acting brand new? Like this is nothing? And it's just going to go away? Okay. So, I don't know. Did the Spanish flu go away right away? Did the plague go away? I think that lasted for a couple of years. Back in the 1500s. And again, it was because of unsanitary conditions. Think about it. Legionnaire's disease. Remember that one? Telling y'all about these all these other things. But the plague kept going because of unsanitary conditions. Now, we are not living in a rat infested world, where rats are running free everywhere, but there's a lot of people who don't take the time to wash their hands several times a day or use hand sanitizer when they can't. I'm not even going to go into the other hygiene things because, I might be getting too personal, but, taking showers and the like, changing underwear on a regular basis, all of these things are contributed. And yes, I do believe that there's some people who don't live that kind of lifestyle. And they're are out there amongst the other people. Oh yeah. But the man is I mean, here's the thing. Because we're in the middle of a pandemic, we won't have any debates. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to do virtual debates maybe? I believe that the conventions, are they going to do, is he going to insist that the RNC is in person? And is the DNC going to be in person? These are things I'm thinking about. All of these things leading up to this election. And we still aren't going to be fully open by November, just based on how we're doing right now. And I honestly want to go see my father this year. But I may not be able to do that. You know? I mean, but we're living with I know some people support 45. You know? I know some people support him. And I know he has a diverse supporter base. That he is supported by whites, blacks, Latinos, and Asians. I I know. But here's my thing. How are you looking at him, those of you who support him, as he is letting our country go to hell in a handbasket in regards to this pandemic? Military force is not the answer, sir. That's not the answer. What are you going to do? You can't now. Are you going to have the military going around every city to make sure that every citizen is law abiding? Do we have that kind of money? Because if we do have that kind of money, then that means we could have paid every American citizen who files their taxes or who doesn't have to file taxes $3,000 for several months. I'm sure that would have kept a lot of people quite happy. I'm sure that would have kept a lot of people quite happy. Exactly, Aaron. And yet he just keeps poking that bear because he thinks he's a badass. You know? I mean, him and then that person up there in North Korea, you know. And then the Russians know he's an idiot. Putin says whatever he wants to this man, and he believes him. He's, right now, as we speak, They're trying to figure out how they can keep him in office. You know? Now, I just want people to get out there and vote, y'all. I want people to really look at who we have in there. I know we have no clue as to what we'll get out of Joe Biden. Let's just be real about it. We don't know what we would get out of him. It's like, we're just throwing the dice in the air here with both of these candidates. It's really, really a sad situation. And we're in the middle of a daggone pandemic. That's true, Matt. But see, the thing is that 45 does not have a medical degree. And he should have listened to those around him. Now, I fault Dr. Fauci for not just being really clear about just wearing a damn mask. A mask can't hurt. From the very freaking beginning of this whole situation. If he'd have done that, then we probably wouldn't be where we are right now because A, when we did open up, we would have probably been at lower numbers. But I'm telling you, every day I see somebody here in a state where it is mandatory to wear that damn mask. Mandatory. Not wearing those masks at all. So they're not going to arrest them. Too many of them. Too many people who refuse to wear it. I mean, shoot, I know some of my friends here on YouTube. People have these theories about the mask, whether you should or shouldn't, and all that, yada, yada, yada. But if it's not hurting you to wear it, then why wouldn't you just wear it? Humor those of us who think you might should. And we didn't do a good job of contact tracing. We did not do a good job of that. Other countries did. We didn't really start setting that up until we set that up as we opened up, but we trained the people after we opened up, and it's like, but they're still not, it's just not a good job. Clearly we're missing something. Is there anything still in there, or did you eat it all? Are you being like that to me? Are you really being like that to me? Dang.
Check the overhead inventory. See how we do.
I'm just asking for a piece of this chocolate chip cookie.
Check our inventory. Yeah, the overhead.
Y'all know Pizza Hut has those chewy chocolate chip cookies. We got one of those, so. And I love chocolate chip cookies like these, but I can't really eat a whole lot of it because it's going to make me sick if I do. Let me see what Matt say. It takes forever for it to hit the other chat. Chance of finding 1 in a million. I hear you. But the problem is we didn't do a good job of contact tracing. And I really think that is the key of how other countries were able to nip this in the bud in a better fashion. But 45, he thinks he knows everything. You know, we have a narcissist for a president. It is what it is. You know, but it's right now. It's really to our detriment. I try to think about what other presidents have we had in recent history that were narcissists. I would say Clinton is probably a bit of a narcissist, but his narcissism didn't put the country in jeopardy. This crazy man's does, and that's the issue. He puts us at risk. Now, everything that he's only doing it because he thinks it's going to make him fare better in the November election. Just keep that in mind. That's why he's talking about wearing the mask. That's why he's talking about wearing them. Everything that he is doing from this point on is to get reelected. He knows that he's not, you know, up in the polls. He knows it. So now he's going to just do all this stuff. He's going to start trying to make promises that he doesn't intend to keep. And try to fool people into thinking that he's going to do something different. He's not. The man has told you what he's going to do. He has shown you what he's going to do. Believe him. Believe him. And if he loses, he's going to be a very sore loser. And it's going to be crazy. You know, but I hope that we would be better off with someone else. This man mocked God when he went and did that show stunt in front of the church across the street from the White House. He was mocking God, mocking the Most High. So, y'all know I just don't like the man. And the thing is that I didn't like him before. You know, I always thought he was a narcissist. You know, I always just didn't care for him. You know, and the fact that he's the president, well, you know, that's just a nightmare I always want to wake up from. I do. Because I can't think of anything that he has done to help me or anything that I care about during the time that he's been in here. The only thing that I've gotten the feeling is that I'm not a part of the America that he wants to make great again. That's how I have felt. And I'm sure that's how many other Americans have felt too. And I'm not saying just people who are people of color. I don't think some people who are white are part of the America he wants to make great again either. You know, he hasn't made it great. Has he made this country great again? Has he done that? I don't think so. I know, I see we've been on here for an hour. And y'all know I try to keep it to an hour. So let me come on camera. Hopefully I'm not staticky. Hold on. Let me see. You don't have on a shirt. You're not coming over here and getting on camera. Hey guys. David is not coming on camera. He does not have on a shirt, so he's not coming on camera shirtless. Sorry. Yeah. You know, it disgusts me that he has like almost an 8-pack and does nothing to deserve it. They ain't showing it on YouTube. Anyway, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me. I did not know that this was going to turn into a conversation about 45, but it did, because it's almost August. It's almost August, y'all, which means that we are, what, like 3 months away? August, September, October, yeah, November. It's almost like 3 months, and we're going to have to make that decision. So we should be thinking about it right now. In the middle of all this stuff that's going on, we need to be thinking about it. But I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay? Bye, everyone.